Is EA stupid? Electronics Arts, are they stupid? What the hell are they doing over there? First off, this stupid Origin Access, Early Access nonsense, it's absolutely a joke. Is this a scam?
EA Sports is holding us under emotional hostage out of our love for the game. They know we're gonna buy it every year, so they have no reason to fix it.
Fuck you! Fuck you, EA! I fucking hate Madden Ultimate Team. I've always hated Madden Ultimate Team. This has no place.
Listen, I don't do a lot of commentary on topics, especially topics like this one. But I'm just beginning to feel too strongly on this topic for me to leave it alone. So, here I go. During quarantine, I've been doing a lot of gaming. And during most of those games, I just felt like something was, missing. Like, there were good games, but I feel like it could be better, Like, way better. And every time I look at the startup screen of every game that I feel this way about, I see one thing that's very similar.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Then I connected the dots, and now I see that every game EA puts their hands on, they ruin it. They either destroy the entire franchise for a quick buck, or they just copy and paste the game and then try and sell it off as a new one of the series. Now, I've been asking around, researching, and apparently I'm not the only one that feels this way. That's probably why you're watching this video, because you agree EA needs to step it up. Let's just look at some of the games that EA has destroyed, and let's see where they are now. Back in the day, I don't mean to sound like an old head or nothing, but back in the day, UFC games used to be made with love and compassion. I'm going to be using one game as an example.
UFC Undisputed 3. Your move.
UFC Undisputed 3 is hands down the best UFC game I've ever played, and probably fighting game I've ever played. And before I start, just remember, this game came out in 2012 on the PS3. This was just an all-around great game. The career mode was extensive, the training was fun. The created characters you fought the WFA were all distinctive, nothing was the same. And also, it introduced a unique Pride mode that contained different moves to be performed. I mean, during Pride mode, you could literally stomp on people's heads. Like, who doesn't want to do that? It also brought back, the title defense modes, the tournament modes that we've all seen before in every UFC game. This wonderful game was developed by Yuke's and published by THQ. Now that was the 2012 PS3 game. Let's compare that game with the much newer EA UFC 3. EA UFC 3 definitely has some different mechanics when you compare it to Undisputed 3. And I'll admit, at times you do seem to have a greater control of your fighter when you're using EA UFC 3. I will give them that. But that's all I'm giving them, because the rest is negatives. Let's start with the quality of life stuff that doesn't really affect the fighting aspect. Let's start with weigh-ins and press conferences. The EA UFC 3 press conferences are trash. Like, can we even call it a press conference? It's trash. It's just a cutscene with the announcer narrating over it. There's no unique animations. There's nothing different going on for each distinctive character. It's just a copy and paste cutscene that happens every single time. And it doesn't happen very often either. It happens maybe like when you're fighting your rival or a title match. That's it. Nothing special. Let me show you what it looks like so you understand.
Has to offer. And while getting into a #1 contenders match is sweet enough, if this fighter beats his heated rival to earn that shot at the belt, the victory would be even more satisfying. That's it for today. Stay tuned for your next UFC Minute.
Did you see that? That whole thing that I just showed you was the press conference. That small increment of time. Now, you've seen that. EA UFC 3 on the PS4. A whole generation in front of Undisputed 3. let's go look at UFC Undisputed 3's weigh-ins.
First on the scale is the challenger. 185 for the challenger. Next up on the scale is the defending champion. 185 for the champion. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it, the main event of the evening. You do not want to miss this fight, folks.
Standing across from him in the red corner is the King. Tearing through his opponents like a buzzsaw, this athletic octagon warrior can close the distance in the blink of an eye and deliver brutal punishment from inside the clinch.
All right, gentlemen, you've been given your instructions.
Did you see that? The cutscene was so nice, I had to edit it down so this segment wouldn't be that long. It had the fighters come up, get weighed in. You heard the announcer say the fighters' weights.
185 for the challenger.
They have a stare down. They introduce both fighters, and then they had a scene that transitions into the actual fight seamlessly. Beautiful. Beautiful. Amazing work from Undisputed 3. This is what we need. And I keep saying, but EA UFC 3 was released on the PS4, and Undisputed 3 was on the PS3, a whole generation after. EA, how you gonna let a game that came out 6 years before yours outdo you in almost everything? There's other like small things like the fight news. When you beat somebody and you have a rematch, they'll say something like, oh, I'm not gonna lose to you again. Oh, certain stuff like that. Like, come on, it's not that hard, bro. Like, little things like that goes a long way. And it's not just EA UFC 3, it's their newest UFC game, UFC 4 too. I did a whole My Career series on my channel. And I was literally making UFC videos every other day just so I could be done with that series because I hated that game so much. It felt like UFC 3 but somehow worse. The grappling was cheesy, the takedowns were cheesy. I went online, I was using like a middleweight with perfect takedown defense. That man took me down in a second and I perfectly stopped him and it still wouldn't let me get up. And don't get me started on the punches, bro. EA's punches sound like baby punches. Listen to this. Now let's listen to the UFC Undisputed 3 punches that came out 8 years before UFC 4.
Boss, rootin' here. Says very even, boss. Oh, what a shot! He's down! Oh, man, that was a good shot. Beautiful right hand. Oh, ground and pound. Oh, yeah. It's so... Oh, that's it. That's it.
Look at the effect it gives you when you rock somebody. You can even rock somebody on the ground. And when you KO somebody, look, you can keep on going. And the ref actually forces you off. You don't just stand up and stand looking stupid while the ref just stares at you. Like, the ref actually does something in the ring. And the saddest part is, we're gonna have to get used to this because EA not too long ago signed a 10-year deal with UFC. So we gotta see this for 10 more years. There is so much more I can talk about, and I do mean so much more I can talk about. But I'm not going to because I don't want this segment to get too long. So let's move to the next one. Now, I'll be honest, Madden 21 isn't the absolute worst game EA has made. Franchise was cool, I guess. The yard was pretty fun, with friends especially. It was a decent game. Notice how I keep saying the word was. It's because I took Madden and deleted it off my PS4 completely. If you want to talk about copy and paste, look no further than Madden 21. Like, they literally don't even hide it anymore. They're that confident.
Now, with that said, the point of the video is this. Attention to detail. Pride in your product. What does this banner back here say? Madden 19, it's in the game. Madden 19. Now, I found this earlier just by looking in the practice mode. Madden 20, Madden 19. Madden 19, Madden 20, Madden 20, Madden 19.
If this isn't a visual representation of how so many people feel about this product in this game, not just the lack of quality, the attention to detail, the pride, but also how it is constantly almost a rinse and repeat year to year.
Really? Are you serious? That's not even all. They don't even update the bios of like their star players.
There's a lot of things with Tom Brady this year that from a football standpoint, from a simulation football standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, storyline standpoint, so many intangibles, okay, that weren't there years before. So when I look at this, you can question that it wasn't updated and still talks about that 2018 championship. But I'll tell you, when you look at Madden 21, and it's the exact same thing. They just changed the icon for the zone ability. You have to think that this has not been updated for the past 3 years.
Unbelievable. I really think EA gets lazier every year, if that's even possible. Not only do they copy and paste banners, not only do they copy and paste franchise, but now they're copying and pasting the bio for Tom Brady. Who doesn't know who that is? Did they seriously think we weren't going to see that? I don't even watch football, and I know who that is. Mind you, this was around the time where he went from the Patriots to the Buccaneers, so it's a guarantee that people would see if his bio would change, and they still kept it. Your poster boy, household name, star player, Tom Brady, goes to a whole different team, and you don't think to stop copying pasting for 1 second to change their bio. This is why there were hashtags, NFL drop EA, trending on Twitter. Because I'm not the only one that feels like this. The whole community does. And the craziest part is people are still buying these games and thinking something's gonna change. And they get disappointed each and every time. The only way they're gonna change is if we hit them where it hurts. And that's their pockets. We all know EA's money hungry. You could be the biggest EA fan in the world and know they're money hungry. But somehow, people just can't resist to not get that Madden 21. They gotta get it. And it's the same game every time because EA does not care. Now let me just say, before I start grilling EA, Battlefront II is one of my favorite games to play to this day. Modes like Galactic Assault, Heroes vs. Villains, Co-op, they all feel like a Star Wars experience. And it's all fun and dandy, right? So then why am I putting this game in this video criticizing EA? That's because EA isn't the reason why this game is so good. Actually, EA is the reason why this game was bad for so long. Let me explain. Everything good about this game is because of the developers called DICE, which is a daughter company to EA. DICE worked tooth and nail to revert the terrible launch of Battlefront 2. Because that's what Battlefront 2 is known for, its terrible launch. Battlefront 2 had a horrendous launch. I'm talking loot crates, paywalls, lots of content, the standard EA things that everyone hates. This enforced a huge pay-to-win style amongst this game, which means you had to pay real life money out of your real life wallet to play this game that you already paid, what, $60 for? I mean, they locked half of the game's heroes behind a paywall.
Darth Vader is 60,000, Chewbacca is 40,000, Luke is 60,000, the cheapest one herself is Aiden, who is only 20,000, who I suppose many people will actually be buying.
Did you hear that? Let me see. Darth Vader costed 60,000 credits. Chewbacca costed 40,000 credits. Luke Skywalker costed 60,000 credits. Aiden Versio costed 20,000 credits. And Leia costed 40,000 credits. Altogether, if you wanted to get all the heroes in the game, you had to pay 220,000 credits. Do you know how hard it is to get 20,000, let alone 220,000? These weren't the only downfalls of the game. There were also game-breaking bugs that ruined the experience. Because of all these reasons added together, the launch for Battlefront 2 got some serious backlash. EA posted a comment on the Battlefront 2 subreddit and got how much? Over 660,000 downvotes. I'm pretty sure that's the most in Reddit history.
I love democracy.
After all this, EA was forced to take away all the paywalls, take the star cards away from the loot crates. DICE started adding more content to the game, fixing the bugs, putting in fan favorite characters, adding new skins. Actually listening to the fans, you know? And now, Battlefront 2 is actually the game that the community deserves. Now sadly, because of the release of the new Battlefield game, EA has pulled DICE off of the project altogether, which means there will be no more new content and no more support for the game. But even still, there are more new players coming into the game each day, and this game DICE has built up overshadows EA's launch by a long shot. Alright, this is a tricky one, because there is nothing more nostalgic than this one right here. Most of you probably haven't heard about this game, but this is a game that I played back on the Xbox 360, you know, when Xbox was good. I'm just playing. Anyways, this game is called Skate 3, and in my honest opinion, I believe Skate 3 is hands down the best skating game of all time. It had the right amount of goofy without being too cartoony, the tricks were sick. If you were really good at the game, you could get some huge air and pull off some crazy stuff. It had online modes where you can compete against other players. It had a story mode, it was open world. There were skating legends like Rob Dyrdek and Tony Hawk. I haven't played this game in years, but back then this game was perfect. You may be wondering, well, if the game is perfect, then why is it in your video? That's the tricky part. This game was developed by none other than EA. I actually have no flaws to cover. This game, I like this game a lot. But this game came out back in 2010. You know, when EA actually cared about their games. There was an announcement a little while ago at EA's Play event where Skate 4, after 10 years, another Skate 4 game was coming out. And that's the problem. It was announced at EA's Play event. And yeah, Skate 3 was perfect in my opinion, but it's not 2010 anymore. We aren't in EA's prime anymore. I have a huge feeling EA is going to ruin yet another franchise. Now the game hasn't been released yet, and I don't know when it's going to be released. But when I saw the letters E and A besides Skate 4, I felt a sense of dread. Now I'm gonna give EA the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they'll pull out all the stops and make an amazing game, who knows? And if you do, I'll be one of the first people to say how great of a game it is. In conclusion, yeah, EA has made some decent games here and there, but usually they're a train wreck, and people continue to buy them year after year. People are buying them time and time again and validating EA's laziness. If you agree with what I've said in this video, I expect it because everyone views EA as lazy developers. And if you disagree, I don't care. That's your opinion. I also expect that too because there's some EA fanboys out there that are only here to play Madden, and that's okay too. If you find EA does an okay job, that's cool. Do I hate EA? Yeah. Of course I do. But do I want to hate EA? No. No, of course not. I want them to be good. I want them to make good games. I want them to stop being lazy. But that's not gonna happen, and we both know that. But that's all I have to say on this topic. All the clips I got from different YouTubers, I'll be putting them in the description. You've probably seen their names in the clips. I put them there. And if you enjoyed the video, I mean, that like button ain't gonna hit itself, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to, then that's too bad. But of course, it's your choice. I'll see you on the next one. It's been your boy. This is not what I thought I was wearing, bro. Where's my...